Don't ignore your pennies. Coins from 1990, 2001, and even 2014 could be worth much more than 1 cent if they have rare errors or are in top condition. Check your change. You might be holding hidden treasure. The US 1 cent penny from 1990 is one of those coins that collectors often underestimate at first glance. To the casual observer, it looks like just another modern Lincoln cent, the kind you can find scattered in change jars, drawers, or even on the ground. But within the world of numismatics, the 1,990 penny holds secrets that can turn a coin worth only 1 cent into a treasure worth more than most cars or even homes. Depending on the condition and rarity of certain errors or mint state designations, these coins have been valued as high as $55,000 to $128,000, making them one of the most surprising modern-era pennies to command staggering sums at auction. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1909, when Victor David Brenner's iconic design replaced the Indian head cent. By 1990, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 80 years, and while its design remained largely familiar, the coinage world had entered a new era. The obverse still bore the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. Millions of 1990 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and to the average spender, they were just everyday currency. But when you dig deeper into the details, you discover that 1990 was a year when a small handful of special pennies slipped through the cracks. Coins that would later drive collectors wild. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1990 penny is its errors and varieties. One of the most famous is the 1990 no-S proof cent. Proof coins are specially struck at the San Francisco Mint with mirrored fields and frosted devices, meant for collectors rather than circulation. These coins usually bear an S mint mark, but in 1990, a small number of proof cents were struck without the mint mark. These no-S proof cents are among the rarest modern coins, and they have commanded extraordinary sums at auction. Their rarity is tied directly to a simple oversight in the minting process, yet that tiny oversight transformed what would have been an ordinary proof coin into a six-figure rarity. For regular circulation strikes, condition is everything. Most 1990 pennies are found in worn condition, having passed through countless hands over decades. But coins that were preserved in pristine mint state condition, particularly those graded MS-68 or higher, are among the rarest survivors. These coins exhibit sharp detail, brilliant luster, and no distracting marks, making them stand out from the millions of others. When such coins appear at auction, bidding quickly escalates as collectors compete for a chance to own one of the finest known examples. This intense competition has pushed values into the extraordinary range, with prices soaring between $55,000 and $128,000 for the best of the best. The allure of the 1990 penny is heightened by its place in numismatic history. By this time, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned to using copper-plated zinc planchets, a change that began in 1982. These coins have a core of zinc with a thin copper coating, and they present unique challenges for preservation. Unlike the older bronze cents, zinc-based coins are more prone to corrosion and spotting, which makes finding well-preserved examples extremely difficult. Collectors know that the survival of high-grade zinc pennies is rare, and that rarity drives demand. When you combine this with proof errors like the no-S variety, the 1990 cent emerges as a truly special piece of American coinage. Stories of discovery add to the magic of the 1990 penny. There are tales of people purchasing proof sets from the U.S. Mint decades ago, never opening them, and only realizing later that they held a no-S proof cent worth tens of thousands of dollars. Others have found high-grade circulation strikes in rolls or even in pocket change, their luster and sharp detail catching the eye of an attentive collector. These stories serve as powerful reminders that treasures can hide in plain sight, and that with patience and careful observation, life-changing finds are still possible. The market for these coins is a testament to the passion of collectors. Auction houses have seen dramatic bidding wars over 1990 pennies in top condition or with rare varieties. One such example saw a no-S proof cent sell for tens of thousands, stunning both seasoned numismatists and the general public. Another saw a circulation strike in a nearly perfect grade push past $100,000, proving that even modern coins can achieve legendary status in the collecting world. The excitement generated by these auctions keeps collectors searching, always hoping to uncover the next big find. Part of what makes the 1990 penny so captivating is its accessibility. Everyone has handled pennies from this era, and the idea that one of them could be worth $55,000 to $128,000 is thrilling. It creates a sense of possibility that inspires both casual hobbyists and serious numismatists. Collecting becomes not just about acquiring coins, but about uncovering hidden stories and appreciating the intricate details of minting history. The 1990 penny serves as a reminder that rarity is not always tied to age alone. Sometimes it is tied to mistakes, condition, and chance survival. Looking closer at the design, we see the enduring legacy of the Lincoln cent. The obverse portrait of Lincoln by Brenner remains one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage. The reverse, with its depiction of the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, had by 1990 become a familiar and beloved sight. This design would remain until 2008, making the 1990 penny part of the broader narrative of the Memorial cent era. Collectors who build sets often see the 1990 penny as an important piece within this continuum, a coin that bridges the everyday with the extraordinary. The passion for these coins also ties into the psychology of collecting itself. Coins like the 1990 penny represent the thrill of the hunt, the chance to discover something rare and valuable in an unexpected place. They connect us to history, to artistry, and to a sense of national identity. They also remind us of the importance of attention to detail, as the tiniest differences, such as the absence of a mint mark or the quality of a strike, can transform a coin's value from 1 cent to over $100,000. Over time, the reputation of the 1990 penny has only grown stronger. Collectors continue to pursue high-grade examples, and the no-S proof remains one of the most sought-after modern rarities. Each time a new record is set at auction, it renews interest in the coin and inspires a new generation of collectors to start searching. The story of this penny is far from over. It continues to evolve as more examples are discovered, graded, and appreciated. The US 1991 cent penny is far more than just pocket change. It is a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide, transforming from a humble cent into a treasure worth $55,000 to $128,000. Its story is one of rarity born from minting quirks, survival against the odds, and the passion of collectors who refuse to overlook even the most ordinary of coins. For anyone who has ever wondered if modern coins can hold extraordinary value, the 1990 penny provides the resounding answer. The 2001 1-cent penny is a coin that nearly everyone in the United States has handled at some point. It's copper-plated zinc, small in size, and so common that most people never look at it twice. Yet within this seemingly ordinary penny lies a fascinating story that has drawn in coin collectors and turned simple pocket change into life-changing treasures. In fact, certain examples of the 2001 penny have been valued at anywhere from $44,000 to $104,000, proving that not every coin's worth is what it seems on the surface. The obverse of the 2001 penny carries the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that has been used on the cent since 1909. More than a century later, Lincoln's face continues to be one of the most recognized designs in American coinage. The reverse still features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that started in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By the time 2001 rolled around, this design had already been in circulation for over 40 years and was deeply familiar to Americans everywhere. Yet this long history doesn't make the 2001 penny less interesting. In fact, it makes it more significant as one of the last few years before the reverse design changed to honor Lincoln's bicentennial in 2009. At first glance, most 2001 pennies are just worth a cent, maybe a few dollars if they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. But what sets the rare and valuable examples apart are two factors: condition and minting errors. Collectors place tremendous value on coins that have survived in near-perfect condition. Most pennies get scratched, tarnished, or worn down almost immediately after entering circulation. So finding one from 2001 that is flawless, with its original luster still shining, is a challenge. When grading services award an MS-68 or higher grade to a 2001 penny, the rarity drives its price skyward. Then there are the errors. Mint errors are the golden tickets of coin collecting, and the 2001 penny series includes some spectacular ones. Off-center strikes are one of the more common types, where the design is shifted so far that a portion of the coin is blank. The more dramatic the misalignment while still showing the date, the higher the value. Double strikes also capture collectors' imaginations, with overlapping impressions of Lincoln's portrait making the coin look like a piece of surreal art. Some of the most astonishing 2001 pennies are those struck on the wrong planchet. There are known examples of pennies accidentally struck on dime or foreign coin blanks, making them lighter, smaller, or with an odd color. These mistakes are extremely rare, and when they surface at auctions, they often fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Die breaks, sometimes called cuds, add another layer of collectability. These occur when a piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin's surface. For some collectors, these are like fingerprints, unique flaws that make each coin one of a kind. Collectors also look for subtle varieties like double die errors, where the details on Lincoln's face, the lettering, or the Lincoln Memorial appear doubled under magnification. While not always easy to spot with the naked eye, such details make a coin stand out and add immense value. The stories behind these coins are what make them so captivating. There are countless tales of collectors who found what looked like an ordinary penny in their change jar or inherited collection, only to later discover its true worth. One story tells of a family who brought a handful of coins to an appraisal event, expecting little more than face value, only to learn that one of their 2001 pennies was an extraordinary error coin that later sold at auction for over $50,000. Another tale describes a pristine, high-grade 2001 penny that drew an intense bidding war, eventually crossing the $90,000 mark and leaving even experienced collectors astonished. And in the most remarkable cases, the coin has reached values from $44,000 all the way up to $104,000, transforming an everyday penny into a remarkable treasure. What makes the 2001 penny even more fascinating is the context of the time. The year 2001 was marked by enormous historical events, and people often attach symbolic meaning to coins minted that year. Collectors see it not just as another cent, but as a piece of history minted in a pivotal moment for the country. For some, owning a rare 2001 penny is not only about the monetary value but also about holding a reminder of that moment in history. The penny's design itself also adds layers of meaning. Lincoln's portrait has always been a symbol of resilience, leadership, and unity. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse echoes those themes, reminding us of the nation's respect for its leaders and its democratic ideals. When paired with the year 2001, a year etched deeply into American memory, the coin becomes more than just a currency. It becomes a story. Condition, rarity, symbolism, and error types all converge to make this coin a gem in the world of collecting. For someone who simply picks it up as change, it might look like nothing special. But for the trained eye, or even for someone curious enough to look closely, it could be the difference between 1 cent and over $100,000. That's the magic of coin collecting. The thrill of discovery, the hope that the next coin you inspect might be the one that changes everything. Auction houses have been the stage for many of the most exciting 2001 penny discoveries. In one unforgettable event, a rare error penny appeared that had been struck dramatically off-center, leaving nearly half of the coin blank while still showing the date clearly. Collectors from around the country gathered, each knowing how rare such a piece was. The bidding began modestly, but as the excitement grew, so did the price. Within minutes, it soared past $20,000, then $40,000, and eventually settled at an astonishing $72,000. Another event saw a mint state coin in an extraordinarily high grade, so flawless in preservation that it drew competing bids until the final hammer landed well above $90,000 for the everyday person. The takeaway is clear. Coins like the 2001 penny prove that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. It's not always about hunting down ancient rarities or gold coins. Sometimes the most valuable pieces are ones that slipped through the cracks of quality control or that were tucked away before ever being touched by circulation. Anyone with a keen eye and a bit of curiosity has a chance to discover something extraordinary. The 2001 1-cent penny continues to remind us that value doesn't always come from what we expect. A coin designed for nothing more than ordinary daily use has the potential to become a prized collectible worth $44,000 to $104,000. It embodies the thrill of numismatics, the blend of history, art, chance, and human error that can elevate a single cent into a life-changing discovery. For collectors and dreamers alike, it's a symbol that the next great treasure could be sitting right in the palm of your hand. The 2014 United States 1-cent penny is one of those coins that almost everyone has handled at some point. It's small, copper-plated, and so ordinary that most people never think twice about it. But what if I told you that tucked away among the millions of pennies struck in 2014 are a few extraordinary rarities? Coins so valuable that they've stunned collectors and even auction houses. While most of these pennies are worth only a cent, some rare examples have been known to sell for jaw-dropping sums, ranging from $32,000 all the way up to $87,000. It sounds unbelievable, but it's absolutely true, and it's one of the reasons coin collecting remains one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. To understand why the 2014 penny can carry such staggering value, we need to look at both its design and the minting process that produces billions of coins every year. By 2014, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than a century. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the coin quickly became a staple of American currency. The obverse of the 2014 penny still features the famous portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His stern yet dignified profile has graced the cent for over 100 years, and in 2014 it continued to serve as a daily reminder of Lincoln's enduring legacy. The reverse of the coin, however, tells a more modern story. In 2010, the United States Mint introduced a new reverse design known as the Union Shield. Designed by Lyndall Bass and engraved by Joseph Mena, it depicts a strong shield with 13 vertical stripes, representing the original 13 states, joined together under a single horizontal bar that symbolizes the federal government. At the top of the shield is the inscription E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, emphasizing the unity of the nation. The word 1 cent is prominently displayed across the shield, making it instantly recognizable as America's most humble yet most produced coin. By 2014, this design was still relatively new, and collectors were already paying close attention to every detail. With billions of 2014 pennies struck, one might wonder how a single cent could ever reach a value between $32,000 and $87,000. The answer lies in two factors: errors and condition. When the minting process goes wrong, even slightly, the result can be a coin that collectors will fight over. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet strikes are considered treasures in the coin world, and the 2014 penny has been known to feature such rare mistakes that a double die error is one of the most sought-after varieties. This happens when the die itself, which stamps the coin, carries doubling in its design. On a 2014 penny, this might appear as extra lines or shadows on the inscriptions like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date itself. Even subtle doubling can elevate a penny's value dramatically. A well-preserved double die penny from 2014 could be one of those coins that pushes toward the $32,000 to $87,000 range, especially if certified by a top grading service. Off-center strikes are another collector favorite. These coins are produced when the blank is not perfectly aligned in the press, resulting in a design that's shifted off-center. Sometimes the misalignment is small, but in dramatic cases, part of the design is missing, leaving a large blank crescent of copper. If the date is still visible, collectors value these errors even more. A sharp off-center strike on a 2014 penny in uncirculated condition could fetch thousands, and in extreme cases, tens of thousands. Then there are wrong planchet errors. Every coin is supposed to be struck on a blank of the correct size and composition, but mistakes happen. A 2014 penny struck on a dime planchet or even on a foreign coin blank would be incredibly rare. These are the types of coins that make headlines in auctions and easily reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. One like this could absolutely account for a price in that $32,000 to $87,000 bracket. Another exciting possibility is the broad strike error. This occurs when the retaining collar that holds the coin in place during striking fails, allowing the blank to spread outwards. The resulting coin looks stretched and unusual with no defined rim. Collectors prize these oddities, especially when they are crisp and clearly show the error. And of course, there's the matter of condition. Even without errors, coins in exceptional condition can be extremely valuable. The grading scale used by professionals ranges from poor to perfect, with mint state coins at the top. A 2014 penny in MS68 or higher is exceedingly rare because even the smallest nick or scratch reduces the grade. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint add another layer of interest. With their mirror-like fields and frosted designs, they are popular among collectors, but only flawless examples with deep cameo contrast earn the highest premiums. Auction houses have already seen surprising results for 2014 pennies. While many examples are worth little more than face value, error coins or near-perfect mint state examples have turned up and shocked bidders. The reason is simple. Collectors know that these coins are rare, and when they hit the open market, competition drives the price into ranges that most people would never associate with a penny. That's how a coin that costs 1 cent to spend could sell for $32,000 to $87,000 in the right conditions. What makes the story of the 2014 penny so fascinating is that it's accessible to everyone. Unlike rare gold coins or centuries-old relics locked away in museums, these pennies are still out there in circulation. They can be found in pocket change, in coin jars tucked away in people's homes, or in rolls from the bank. This means that anyone, not just professional collectors, has the chance to stumble upon a life-changing discovery. That possibility keeps collectors searching, always inspecting their change closely, knowing that the next extraordinary penny could be waiting in plain sight. Searching for rare 2014 pennies takes patience and a keen eye. A magnifying glass is a must for spotting doubling on the date or inscriptions. Careful attention should also be paid to the rims, which can reveal off-center strikes or broad strikes. Weighing a coin can sometimes expose wrong planchet errors, since the weight will not match that of a regular penny. The more knowledge and tools a collector brings to the hunt, the greater the chance of success. Beyond the thrill of the hunt, the 2014 penny also represents the continuation of a long and beloved tradition. The Lincoln cent has been minted for over a century, making it one of the most collected coins in American history. From its humble beginnings in 1909 to the shield design of today, it has witnessed the changing face of America, both literally and symbolically. Holding on to a 2014 penny isn't just about its potential value. It's also about owning a small piece of that long history. The story of the 2014 penny serves as a reminder that extraordinary treasures often hide in plain sight. Most people will never think about the coins they spend, but collectors know better. They know that within the ordinary, the extraordinary often waits to be discovered. When you hear that a 2014 penny has sold for $32,000 to $87,000, it's not just a story about money. It's a story about curiosity, persistence, and the thrill of discovery. For the average person, it might seem unlikely that they'll ever find one of these rare treasures. But the truth is, people discover valuable coins all the time, often when they least expect it. That's what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. The possibility is always there, and the hunt itself is just as rewarding as the prize. The 2014 penny is proof that even in today's world of digital payments and electronic transfers, the humble coin still has the power to captivate. It may be small, it may be common, but in the right circumstances, it can become a rare gem worth tens of thousands of dollars. And that makes every penny worth a second look.